from the Timber TV studios, this is Timber Talk. Here is Brady Goldman and Sawyer Regan.
Hello and welcome to the penultimate episode for Season 1 of Timber Talk. I'm Brady Goldman.
And I'm Sawyer Regan.
With every team fighting to stay atop in their divisions, we saw an action-filled week of drama, especially with baseball. After being completely embarrassed by Weymouth the Friday before, Coach Costello's squad on Monday were looking to shrug off the loss and return to elite form. However, a hungry field of Womps were looking for revenge after their blowout loss to Walpole earlier in the season. Nonetheless, this matchup would be much different than the previous. Both pitchers would have their way in this one, but in the bottom of the fourth inning, pitcher Luca DiGiulio breaks the game open when he rips this one into center field, bringing home Ryan McDonald and gives Walpole a 1-0 advantage. Luca would keep Braintree scoreless for a majority of the game, but in the top of the seventh, DiGiulio loses a bit of command, and with runners on first and second with one out, Ryan Atkinson grounds this one down the right field line for a base hit, bringing home the runner from second and ties the ball game at 1 run apiece. That would bring us to extras, and in the bottom of the eighth, with the Braintree section heckling him, Drew Cantrell comes through and is the hero for Walpole, smashing this ball into center field and drives home Shane Harrington for Walpole's first walk-off win of the year, coming at a very crucial moment. Thus, Walpole goes for the season sweep over Braintree with a heart-stopping 2-1 victory over the Womps. Luca DiGiulio was fabulous once again, only giving up 1 run on 2 hits and amassing 6 more strikeouts. Walpole's record improved to 12-3 with another tough game on the horizon. Walpole was set to face the team right behind them in Division 2. Milton came into the game looking to make some noise in the D2 standings and try to wash away their embarrassing 5-run collapse against Walpole earlier in the year. Surprisingly, Milton would beat Walpole 5-3. Walpole falls to 12-4 with 3 games left in the regular season. Still, despite the tough stretch, Walpole remains at number 2 in the power rankings, just behind St. Mary's for the top spot in Division 2. The final week of the regular season will see Walpole battling 14-2 juggernaut Natick, a bad Needham team, and the 10-6 Stallions from Norwood.
The softball team had an intense week against top-ranked teams. On Monday, they had to face Braintree, who handed them a shocking loss on opening day. Fortunately for Walpole, this game was anything but the misery the Timberwolves suffered that afternoon. Ladies and gentlemen, Ellie Boland has officially arrived, and she is deadly on the mound. She propelled Walpole to a 9-3 beatdown over the Womps, tallying a complete game with 14 strikeouts on 6 hits, and also had 2 doubles to go with 2 RBIs. Unlikely underclassmen such as Layla Casey and Kayla Benner were instrumental in the victory, with each of them going 2 for 4 with huge hits. Walpole's record improved to 11-2. Then on Wednesday, Walpole was set to take on 12-3 Milton, who they beat earlier in the season 11-2. And the train kept on moving as the same narrative applied here with a 7-1 win over the Wildcats. Ellie had another great showing, posting 10 more strikeouts, while Ava Karakalitis had a big day, going 2 for 3 with 3 RBIs. Walpole secured the season sweep against Milton and moved to 12-2. Finally, to end off the week, Walpole was slated to take on top-ranked Attleboro at home. Sadly, this is where Walpole's 9-game winning streak ends, as they fall to the Bombarders 7-5, despite Grace Todd going 3-4 and getting her 100th hit of her career. Along with Sienna Cruiser also going 3 for 4, they couldn't overcome the number 3 team in Division 1. Still, they fought hard and had an excellent week, proving they are a serious threat in the Division 2 title race. Walpole, now at 4th, is the highest they've been ranked this season. Walpole will play their final 3 regular season games against Natick, Needham, and have senior night for their regular season finale against Franklin.
Switching to the hard court, boys tennis had a big week after their heartbreaking loss to Framingham. They had 3 games which were all very big wins against Braintree, Weymouth, and Milton. Their final game of the week against CM was actually suspended, with each player winning in their match, and thus will be continued Tuesday afternoon. Despite the team's belief that they'd fall after their bad loss to Framingham, the unthinkable happened. Walpole moved up, in fact, to number 3 in the power rankings, hoisting an 11-4 record and set a new record for the highest they have ever been ranked. The boys will finish up the regular season with games against Natick, their rescheduled game against CM, and Needham on the road.
Unlike the boys, girls tennis did not have a great week, losing 2 more matches, both 1-4 against Braintree and Milton. At 2-11, the girls took a free fall in the standings and went from 32 down to 40. It's now looking very likely that the girls will miss the playoffs for the 2nd straight season. The girls will close out the season by playing Natick, Weymouth, and Needham.
Boys Lax had 2 games last week, and despite losing badly to Lincoln Sudbury by a final of 16-6, the boys rebounded with another overtime win, this one coming against Natick, 9-8. The boys are ranked number 9 currently with 2 games to go. They will play Needham on Tuesday and Westwood this week on Friday night, which most notably will be the final spring regular season game this year for all the teams, which means there will be a tailgate preceding the game. Make sure to stop by and support a school which was so dominant yet again in their spring sports.
As stated in our previous episode, the girls' Lax team was angry after their first loss in 24 games and took out their anger against Milton 17-4 and Natick 16-5. Then, on Sunday, they battled Reading in a rematch of last year's state final. Despite having a multi-goal lead for a majority of the game, the Rockets clawed back and would get a come-from-behind victory over Walpole 10-9. Before this game, Walpole had actually overtaken Reading for the number 1 spot in Division II, but things may change in the next iteration of the power rankings. They will try to shake off their 2nd loss of the season when they battle Needham and Foxborough to close out another terrific regular season. The track team competed at the Coach's Invite on Saturday. This is the last meet before the postseason meets of BSCs and divisionals. Some big performances at Coach's include Arnold Bois Mensa and Brady Thomas going 1-2 in the 200-meter and PRing in the event. Nate O'Neill also had a huge PR in the mile with a time of 4:34. On Wednesday, the boys will compete at BSCs.
With that, this will conclude the penultimate episode of Timber Talk Season 1. It's sure been a ride with 24 episodes produced and us only missing 1 week of sports the entire season. We've been with you every step of the way this year for recapping sports at Walpole High. Next week will be the season finale of Timber Talk, so we hope you tune in as we have some special things planned for the final episode for Sawyer and I. As always, I'm Brady Goldman.
And I'm Sawyer Regan.
We'll see you next week as we conclude Timber Talk Season 1.